I don't know what emotion, frustrated, disappointed, confused, where I'm at on this whole issue, but our discussion was on combined reporting and the revenue assumption that came from it. And you had sent out an answer, like it's the 30-page report, and I'm sure everybody spent the time to read and understand thoroughly. And really pretty much what it comes down to is an interpretation on estimated tax payments versus safe harbor rules, and not so much the combined reporting stuff. I guess really what bothered me is I don't know why the questions weren't answered when I first asked them last week or 2 weeks ago. And it really got me to wondering. It's like, you know, and I started thinking about I guess it was a W.C. Fields lines or something. You can't dazzle them, brilliance, baffle them with BS. And that's not meant to pick on anybody, because if anybody can dazzle with brilliance, it's certainly Secretary Hassel. I've always thought that, and he probably is the smartest guy in the room. But things just aren't adding up for me. We have a $230 million assumption here, and it's just not adding up for me. I play poker. I like to play poker. And in a poker, every hand tells a different story. Every action and reaction is going to add to that story. And if you look at this hand, if you look at this story, it just doesn't add up for me at all. And it started with the governor proposing combined reporting for the 5th time in 6 years. This year came a revenue estimate of $238 million, which was completely opposite to last year's, which was a minus $7 million on the exact same proposal. Staff requested information on where how you came to this number. How did this number come? We get an email back, which with no details whatsoever, just 2 or 3 lines, which really starts to make you wonder, like, what the heck's going on? So in preparing for the hearing, you come in, we ask, and we get hit with, Tax Act changed some taxpayer habits, and we noticed something that some companies are willing to pay early on estimated taxes. And I don't know if this was some type of gotcha moment or not. I don't think it was. I think it was an honest attempt. And at the same time, I said to you, hey, look, we have the bill out there. The one bill that we have out there says it doesn't matter. They don't have to pay it. And then I continued to ask other questions, which I was told, oh, we'll have to get back to you on that. Really? And then a week later, we get a 30-page report detailing it. I have to believe that you guys knew this stuff. I don't know why we just didn't have the conversation before. So I don't know if we were scared to talk about the assumption, the revenue assumption, or what was going on. And in the response, you even pretty much doubled down on the whole, oh, the taxpayers were still going to pay this. And based on this story and this poker hand, I'm going to push all my chips all in, to tell you the truth, because I don't think your hand's all that strong to assume a $230 million revenue surplus coming from this. As you know, I'm a CPA and specialize in construction industry. And in the construction industry, we always said cash is king. Cash is king. Cash is king. That's the most important thing to us. I really have a lot of trouble believing corporations are going to willingly, knowingly, voluntarily remit millions of dollars to the Commonwealth early. It's almost unbelievable to me that would transpire. I'm simply not buying it. I know that you are basing this upon some tax returns and some actions of those tax returns. I also would question that when those individuals filed those tax returns, they may have been looking at tax law and thinking they had to remit their estimated payments timely and to have safe harbor rules apply. That's the only thing that I cannot believe, that we're going to base a revenue assumption and a budget on something like this. In past years, we've been very conservative on our budget estimates, and that's a good thing. And I applaud you and administration for doing that. And for anything new that we've done in the last couple of years, I think the only real big changes have been gambling type things. And we've been conservative and actually came out far ahead on that, and it makes life a lot easier. And I'm not saying that you know, I'm disagreeing, we're disagreeing. Maybe we're just disagreeing with each other what it is. But and I'm not saying it's a game, because I keep hearing that term, you're playing games, you're playing games. Maybe we're just disagreeing, I don't know, but I can't tell you how much I vehemently disagree with this assumption. And I would offer up, I mean, we just came through a DHS hearing where where we talked about proposed budget and proposed expenditures, and they said, well, we'll get you that number in the spring, and it's going to be shocking. Shocking? We have a budget in front of us. I'm really worried how far out of balance we actually are. So I would leave it at this. I do respect you. I think you are the brightest man in the room. I really do. I do think that we are way out of balance here, and I would advocate this, that if we do pass combined reporting and the rate reductions, that we make an assumption of zero revenues for it. And I would ask both of the chairmen to support me on that. And with that, thank you.
If I may respond. So first of all, Representative Dunbar, thank you for the kind words. In our thought process about this, the honest answer is that your question caused us to go back and have conversations about it, because we wanted to make sure we had the right answer. If anything, what you're seeing is that when we're asked a question, some of these topics are very complex and based on data, and I would rather take a question back and think about it and give you a complete answer rather than speculate and give you an off the cuff that may turn out to not be correct. So that is my own personal conservatism that you see there. There was certainly no attempt to pull the wool over the committee's eyes, just the opposite. I want to make sure that when we provide information that it's accurate and it's the best effort that we can give to the committee. The estimate that you're referring to is not something that I asked the staff to produce. It wasn't done at the request of the administration. Can't you squeeze some more of this money into the prior year? It was something that that our staff, in looking at the situation and seeing what had happened with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, came to us and said, you know what, we've really been too cautious here. We should really allow these numbers to change a little bit, taking into account that businesses don't really act this way on a routine basis. Many businesses are not basing their payments on the minimum safe harbor. I think that that's something we've seen over many years. We've given this example here based on the one change. But over the course of years, I would say we have seen that in operation many times. I recognize your concern about it. I understand what you're saying. We've provided our best estimates for the committee, and I think that's all we can do at this point.
And like I said before, I think we'll agree to disagree on that.
Thank you.